sorry for not being able to do the stream yesterday. I was trying to, but stuff ended up happening in life, so it is what it is. But anyway, so oh my god, we're gonna have a blast today. So I'm gonna be reacting to this guy named telling me he's changing the car industry and he's trying to change the dealership by having a free market. So essentially, it's a full negotiation. The seller doesn't suggest a price, right? So which is what I've been advocating myself for my like I thought about this of this something like this happening because yeah, it's like that's why I don't believe supply and demand is real anymore. Like I don't believe it because it's like the seller is always like, "Hey, it's either my price or take it or leave it" type of thing, and I'm just like, "Gang, that's not how it works, right?" So that's what I mean. So we'll react. I'm a loan underwriter, so I'm gonna go ahead and be giving it my perspective as a loan underwriter to back more up of what Tommy is saying. So let's go. All right, so just bear with me. Just almost done here. I guess it helped subscribe. I don't know. All right, cool. You can go ahead and put your questions in the chat if you would like. I'm taking all questions either to fix your credit or what to do with applying for a loan, etc. So don't be afraid. And then also, I have a service if you are going to need a loan. Go ahead, I have a service where I can go ahead and help you. Pretty much pretty simple. I see if you pretty much qualify so you won't go ahead and lower your credit score with a lot of inquiries because that's what tends to happen. They don't tell you why you're declined, and I can show you what, not just why. What is your probability of you getting approved? What is the possible chance based off your loan application? So hit me up, and then credit repair businesses. I have a platform which also does this. So contact me if anything. So yeah, let's continue. Let's continue. All right. All right, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Oh my god! Like this information, this is like what Tommy's doing is what I'm trying to do over here in the finance world. I'm trying to be able to make this information more readily available. So, so I'm glad that we have someone like him. And ooh, I'm gonna be giving you my perspective. It's gonna be crazy. Let's see, what is the time stamp? Almost ready, guys. Just trying to get to the video.
How are you, beautiful sons of people and women and daughters and all the people that are people? Okay. He said he called you. I got to make sure this is the person. I sent the number to him. Okay, this is probably the person. I'll call him. You guys ready? We'll make sure it's working. We'll get an introduction. Everybody be nice. That's the rule. It's the first time it's happened. First time, we'll call him back.
Questions.
Get my hand ready.
This is Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne, how's it going? This is Tommy.
Tommy, how you doing, man? I'm glad we could finally get together and do this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So remember, if I'm remembering correctly, you made a video pretty angry about what I was doing. I think you called me a scam in that video. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I invited you to check out what Delivered was, and you wanted to be on this debate, and here we are. That's kind of where we're at, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd still like to do that tour if at all possible, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to give a tour to a whole bunch of people. I'm just about to make a trip here, and I'm in a bit busy of middle week. But what's your title at the dealership? Like, what do you do? How long you been in the industry?
I'm a salesperson.
Okay.
I've worked here for 2 years, but I've been in sales for probably 8.
Okay, perfect. Awesome, man. Well, I'm going to give you the floor is yours here. I'm made pretty open here. If there's a certain thing you disagree with me on, if there's something you want to have a conversation, if you believe I'm a scam artist, whatever you want to voice your opinion on, I'm more than willing to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, scam artist might be a stretch, so let's kind of clear that up real quick. But let me ask you this, Tommy, just kind of, you used to sell cars, correct? You were in the sales business?
Sales and finance was the majority of my career. So I did finance for 5.5 years, sold cars for a little over a year.
Okay, so what do you think a Mini should be on a vehicle?
And just so you know, I am literally going off the top. I didn't do no prep work for this debate because I'm also going to, get on this little debate because, yeah, I think the dealerships, they walling out on these streets, right? Yo, let me know in the chats, right? These dealerships are just pricing these vehicles up so much. Jesus. All right. Shoot. Let's continue.
So what do you think that a dealership should charge a Mini for? Pay a consumer or pay a salesperson?
As a salesperson, what should be the minimum that they can make per vehicle on a new car?
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think the answer is you pay about $120,000 a year salary, and that's enough to get really highly qualified people. And you can maybe do a bonus based on the company's performance. But I think anytime you're doing a commission-based sales pay, you start having priorities shift of what you're actually working for. But I believe a high salary, you get really quality people that are trained. You get people that are willing to stay longer than, I think 80% of the industry quits in the first year. And I think, some people quit at 120 grand, but I think you get a lot of really quality people there.
Okay, so that kind of throws me for a loop. I did not expect you to say that. And the reason I didn't expect you to say that is because you just said that you believe that salespeople should make, let's say, $100,000 a year, even, right? $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year, and I would say that most salespeople probably make less than 60.
Correct, but that's in my opinion, that's a conversation like.
All right, so let's address what he said. I love that idea from Tommy. I definitely agree. I've always said this to people that if you pay people a high salary, you're going to get quality because they're going to have to fight so hard. Look why people still fight for remote jobs. That in alone is still like, I'm trying to get it. They will compete for it. You just got to stop being a-holes and just pay people fairly. Wow. Yes, so a high salary. Like, I think they should make like a minimum $75K. Minimum $75K, maybe cap them out at $125, or they agree. But yeah, Tommy knows this a little bit more than me because he's right. They're more likely to wanna just try to get more money out of you. I've had it happen to me before. I've been in a dealership. I know you have. Put it in the chat. What's happened to you at being in a dealership? It is wild what they be doing in these streets, man. All right, let's continue.
people get very mad at me. I'm taking money from your pocket. There is somebody that you could be talking to that is making all of the money, that is very happy, that probably drove whatever they did to work, and they probably aren't in their office, and that's your owner, right? Your owner is making money. Your business model, and this is what I think the problem is right now, is new car sales. The entire business model is reliant to actually lose money to be its most successful model. Stair-step plans are so huge in the new car automotive side right now, but the only people who benefit from that are new car managers, GMs, and owners. I believe that love should be shared, to the very least, to salespeople. I think it's insane that salespeople have to put the hours in, work, sell these vehicles, and they don't reap any of the benefits. That's why that salary, I think, should exist. But I don't believe in the idea of 100% commission. I've lived it. It helped me get to where I'm at, but I don't think it creates a good culture for people to actually help consumers.
Okay, but Tommy, you're throwing me for a loop here, because yesterday you were talking about how, car salesmen, they'll lie, cheat, and steal to do anything off of for a commission, and they'll withhold truths and bend gray areas and all this. And now you're saying, like, no, salespeople do put in the work. They do spend the 4 or 5 hours with the client to make sure that they know how to use the vehicle and that the vehicle is the correct vehicle for that person. You see what I'm saying?
No, first off, I don't think there's any moment in time where I said all car salespeople lie, cheat, and steal. Somebody can pull the footage, they certainly can, that the lives are there.
My guy Tommy is cooking this guy. It is facts. If they would just stop being so damn greedy, because that's the thing. It's like, we want you guys to make money, but at what cost? At what cost do you guys want to continue having us, when we spend the money, to continue paying higher prices because you guys are so greedy, because you guys don't know how to. It has to stem from not being financially responsible. It either has to tailor to that, or you just like being assholes and just love just stealing or not even stealing, because you're not stealing, manipulating people to give you more money. That is crazy work. Like, morally, it's like, yo, how can you get up and it's just like, oh man, all right, it's time to manipulate somebody else to give me an extra $3,000 to $4,000 today. Like, yo, it's crazy that you can just wake up, and it's part of that they're just numb at this point, which then tells you it's like, yo, seek therapy, gang. Wow. Anyway, that kind of went right or left. It's left how they say it, but yeah, it's scary. It's like, damn, you're willing to do that for a couple of thousands of dollars, but why do I keep having this faith in humanity? Oh God. But anyway, to debate his point, it's like, yo, I don't have anything more to add on to what Tommy said. Tommy, he is laying it down. Wow, you see how the guy can't even come back? Oh my God, he's like, God damn. I was like, he's like, I fuck with that. I fuck with that play. And I'm like, how could you not? Damn, Tommy, you killing it, gang. All right. And then, Tommy, I know you said that you were going to be down in Miami. I live down here, so if you definitely want to slide through, gang, I was like, we can make a video, me and you, and, again, we can tackle some of this. I've been learning a lot for the last, 3 to 4 months being subscribed to your channel, but it's on another channel, though. So, yeah, let's get back to this video. Awkward and shit.
There. Do some salespeople lie, cheat, and steal? Sure. Do a lot of them say what's best for them to convince you to buy the car? Yes. For example, one thing that I think is premium, I think you sell Ford, if I remember correctly. If a Chevy is a great pick for somebody, and you've done the analysis and you've done that, you are rewarded to convince that person to buy a Ford no matter what. Because if you don't, you make no money. I think that's insane. That's silly. That's crazy. Now, just because the current business model, it rewards that, I have to tell consumers, as of right now, the current business model rewards salespeople telling you whatever they can to sell you a car. That's not good. If I was to reinvent the model, I'd reinvent the model so that wasn't. So you wouldn't be afraid to say, hey, you want to talk to you. You care about reliability. You don't really need a truck. I think you need a RAV4, dude. Let's call a spade, and you're still getting paid the same. That's what I truly believe makes more sense. But that's like a whole different thing. Like, for example, I think it's silly. Imagine if we were buying TVs and you couldn't compare a Samsung and an LG side by side. As of right now, we can't do that because of franchise laws. You can't have two franchises on the same lot. I think it's silly. I think you should have a Toyota and a Honda store side by side that they can show them both and you sell them both and you're happy there. But that's a whole different conversation. But no, I've never said all dealerships should lie, cheat, and steal. I say they do have a conflict of interest. When you're a commissioned salesperson, you have a conflict of you want to sell and have the customer pay the most amount of money while also trying to get the sale. So it's a balance and you don't know what side they're on.
Right. I can tell you this, Tommy, I work at a Ford store because I love Ford, right? So there's never an instance where someone comes in and they say, hey, I'm looking at an Equinox. What do you have that would compare to an Equinox? And of course I'm going to lead them to the Explorer, right? And I'm going to go over the whole Explorer line with them.
Yeah, but that's unfair. Okay. So let's just say, hey, I want a 4-door sedan. I would love a V8. I would love something that's high luxury, high end. I really care about the luxury side. I want basically silent when I'm driving it. I need a V8, 5-door or 4-door or a sedan. What do you got for me?
Well, we don't have a sedan. And I'm assuming that's why you hinted at, sedan. But as far as a sedan, if you wanted to go 4-door sedan, I guess I could bring you over to the EV market and show you the Mach-E, the electric Mustang.
But that's not luxury. The idea behind it is you're not actually solving my problem. Instead, you're going to try to find something on your lot that makes sense, that does that. And that's not really what I feel like is serving the customer, right? In reality, what makes the most sense is probably to go German at that point. The budget's not a concern. You go German. That's what that solves. Not every brand is a one size fit all. And that's the same if
Yo, this guy is cooking them. He was not ready. He was not ready for Tommy. Tommy is just bodying this guy. It's like his points are better and his points are a lot more fair. If I had a dealership, honestly, I would structure that same model. Why? Why wouldn't I not? I was like, I keep people happy. I'm telling you, when you pay people a really great wage, they are loyal. Like, this isn't something that you need to see it be, like, in theory. You do it, you'll see what happens. So, if you're an owner, I'll say small businesses, I understand, but, like, corporations, why am I talking about them? They're never going to pay their employees, which is sad. But this is why I like Tommy. Tommy is going to shake shit up and just be able to make it happen. So, if you're new to the stream, welcome. My name is George. I am a loan underwriter. Pretty much it is my job to make decision on loans, from auto loans, personal loans, credit cards, lines of credits, mortgages, HELOCs, etc., ATVs, jet skis. Yes, I done it all and continue to still do it. So, if you need help with getting a loan, I have a great service to go ahead and help you and give you the probability of you getting approved, so then you just won't be applying ridiculously through lenders and not knowing exactly why you're getting turned down, because you normally get a generic letter. So I can explain it pretty easy. So just go ahead and put help in the comment section. I'll provide you with my contact info. And if you own a credit repair business, I also have a platform where you can go ahead and do the same thing to go ahead and help your clients, which will go ahead and in turn diversify your income, and you'll go ahead and get to dominate the market a lot more better. So lock in with me. Let's go. Continue with the video.
I go to a BMW lot and say, hey, I care about, reliability. I want, I don't care about any of the luxury. I just want somebody to get me point A to point B. Toyota. I think as of right now, that's a whole different conversation. But general rule of thumb is that's going to sway what you can and can't offer. You can love Ford. I love BMW, but in reality, BMW doesn't make sense for every client walking through the door.
Right. But Tommy, if they came on my lot, they're there for a reason, brother.
Maybe they're just looking.
Right? They want to see what Ford has to offer, right? So it's my job to make sure that I show them what Ford offers in that category. And if they say, hey, I still want to go check out Chevy, I can just say, hey, there's a Chevy store right next door. Walk over, have a conversation with them, come back, and let's see which one works better for you. What makes the most sense?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Tommy is saying. You see how he told him, hey, like, you're going to try to find what you have in your lot to fit your client. He literally just did that. So see how it's broken? It's like, okay, well, sorry. If money isn't a problem. It's like, you want luxury. It screams, I got luxury. You really think a Ford Mach-E is luxury? The fuck are we talking about here? Oh my god, it's a Ford Mach-E. Like, it's not a hard dish, but it's like, I ain't a luxury car. At least by society standards, right? So it's like, he's proving Tommy's point right now. Dumbass. Ugh. Let's continue.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. That's your current job, right? Like I'm not saying that your current. You just asked me in a perfect world, what is a mini, right? And I'm saying in a perfect world, I don't believe mini should exist. If you're talking about like in current, I'm not going to give you a solution that's going to put makeup on a problem and fix the current issue. And nothing fixes. There's no mini that makes the most sense. You know, I don't even believe a salesperson should be a commissioned salesperson. If you want to pay per vehicle, that makes more sense. You pay $500 per vehicle, that can make logic. I don't like the idea of a commission salesperson because it rewards a customer or rewards a salesperson to convince somebody to spend more money for you to make more money. And that's just not how it works because it doesn't actually help the business model. Because in reality, the more units you sell, you actually are making the owner more money if they can hit stair-step programs. So that's where I think the issues lie. As of right now, you have a lot of salespeople. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your store that, and again, I don't know what your commissions work, but there's plenty of salespeople that I know that make 10 to 15 cars a month. They high gross everybody. They don't work a crazy amount of hours, but everybody, they basically get everything on and they're happy with it. But that doesn't help the business model, right? That 10 to 15% is really only helping themselves. They aren't getting that manager or the owner to the stair-step program, which is why I think the stair-step program should be more available.
Right. And I understand that, but how often do we have a stair-step program?
I mean, it depends. It depends on what your owner's telling you, what they're not.
Well, I mean, we have I work at a pretty transparent dealer, right? It's a mom and pop dealership. You know, they've been in business for 30 years, you know, and we don't hike rates. We do have an admin fee, but it's upfront. We're honest about it. I mean, we're probably the most transparent dealer that I have ever been to, and I've bought well over 50 cars, right? But, you know, also, too, man, everybody's on a budget, so trying to solve a problem while earning a living is also a tactic, too, right?
I hate this crying. Oh, yo, I don't make enough. It's like, then find a way. Don't put it on us, the customers, to go ahead and overpay on these vehicles because you need to make money, because you didn't make the right financial decisions, and expenses are really high. Your lifestyle is really high. I don't say like, oh, you may be living like, oh my god, luxury lifestyle. No, that's not what I mean. Unfortunately, even middle class has a lifestyle. Like, these are things we can't run away, unfortunately, right? So yeah, it's like, yo, you're gonna need to hustle. You're gonna need to collaborate with people. And I was like, hey, hit me up. I was like, hey, I can go ahead and be a great source for loans. All right, that's what I mean. It's like, if you don't do something of that field, that's why I don't do sales. I'm not good at sales personally. But And I'm just like, yo, that's why I like doing loans. I know how to problem solve within my experience. I've been doing it for like 10 plus years. So I have a very great understanding, and I continue learning and growing. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's continue and get back to the video. He's about to body him. Oh, yeah. Actually, no. I don't like also, and I'm wondering if I'm going to see this as a trend, that they're not going to go up to their boss. It's like, they always want to take money out of our pockets, and they don't feel bad about it, but they're too much of a pussy to go to their own boss and be like, hey, give me money. Like, hello. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, gang. Alright.
Sure. Okay. So let's just say hypothetically, if I paid you $120,000 today to sell cars salary, you never had to worry about how many. I mean, obviously you have a quota you got to hit because you got to keep your job. You're only taking care of and making the best experience possible for the customer. You get paid $120,000. Is that not enough for you?
So well, we don't make nowhere near 120,000, and we also don't have a quota. So I know where you're headed with that, but this dealership isn't like that.
No, but I'm saying, so let's just say hypothetically, I bought your entire dealership. Boom. I pay you $120,000 to be the best damn car salesman you are. I want you to go through and know your product inside and out. I want you to be better than everybody else. And I pay you $120,000 for that. You're not making that right now. Would I imagine you would work harder because that wage would be really good and guaranteed, right?
Sure. I would say so. Sure.
And that's my entire point, is the idea behind if you pay somebody a good wage and you give them a good work-life balance and you treat them with fair equity and respect, they are going to, in turn, make sure they are an expert at their field. I think the idea, commission rewards, one thing, commission rewards, if I convince the customer to spend more money, I make more money. If I give somebody a really good salary and say, for you to keep this job of this awesome place you work where we have all of these benefits and all of these things, all you have to do is be an expert at your field and take care of every client that walks through that damn door. You're going to take care of every client to work through the door. And now this entire model changes on its head because people aren't working to try to extract every dollar they can. Instead, they're working to actually take care of consumers and make them feel well known. I mean, it's not crazy to believe that most car salesmen are very new in the industry because they don't survive. Your dealership might be different because you're a mom and pop, but most dealerships quit in the first, or I think it's 80% of people quit in their first year. Training is at an all-time low. Most people don't know their product. I mean, you've probably heard the phrase, correct me if I'm wrong, that customers know our cars better than we do sometimes. I think it's a crazy statement.
Well, that's not true here at all. I mean, but one point I want to bring up, right? Because you talk about doing $100,000, pretty much a salary, which would be amazing, but that's not real life. But how would a dealership pay that $100,000 when I'm looking at an invoice right here? And I was hoping you'd pull me on the live stream because I have a ton of paperwork because I did my homework for this very event. But how can they survive when the MSRP of this vehicle is $34,525 and invoice is $33,831.56 with a profit margin of $693.44, and then people like yourself, I'm not trying to be toxic, but people like yourself call me and they haggle me on these prices. I mean, there's already nothing there, Tommy. What am I supposed to cut? I mean, even if I were to sell that car at MSRP with 300 pack on top of invoice, if they were to pay me a straight percentage without a mini, I would make $98.36.
Mm-hmm.
So how can a dealership survive when there's not enough profit margin between Ford and the dealership?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. If you're at a restaurant, right, and you eat a delicious meal, best steak you've ever had, how much do you think the dishwasher makes?
Well, dishwasher probably makes $12 an hour.
Well, and do you think the dishwasher is the reason people go to the restaurant?
Well, probably not, in the forefront. But, I mean, he has to do his job to make sure everything is, clean and moving right along and sanitary. And, he's got his role in the position for sure. Whether he's overlooked or not is a different discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not the moneymaker at all, but by all means, they're a vital part of the business. I believe new car sales is that way. The reason why new car sales exist is they're a loss leader. They do lose money on a lot of cars. It's how the manufacturer has built their entire business model for you to lose money. Now you make that money up in stair-step programs, service, parts, and your owner gets all of that money, right? Your owner is getting all of that money. And again, your dealership might be a little smaller, but it's still the same concept. Your dealership is making money in other parts of the business. And in my opinion, that's why a salary makes sense. Right? A salary makes sense because you are now getting some of that money from other parts of the business that are more profitable, where that money comes in, and you're getting paid a fair wage for that. But your role is vital. I'm not saying you're a dishwasher, but what I'm saying is even if you're not the money maker, you're not the chef of the restaurant, you're not the one that people come for, by all means, you are a vital part of that business. And without you, the business doesn't survive. So you should be paid a fair wage for that. I don't think that's a crazy concept, but I mean, there are so many different ways that dealerships make money. We talk about, stair-step programs. We've talked about a few different times. We talk about service. We talk about parts. We talk about the finance office. I think that, my last year I made $3 million of profit for my dealership. I got paid $250,000. That's just me that's pure profit that I made for my owner as a finance manager. That's one person in the back office. The idea behind it is you can't find other ways to pay people a fair wage is insane. I have somebody that literally their only job is to ensure my client has a good experience. They don't call dealerships. They don't do this. They only ensure the phone gets answered. They are not bringing me money necessarily, but they're enhancing my customer experience and they're a vital part of my business. They get paid the same as the person who's actually negotiating deals.
Right. But Tommy, I mean, if we're being honest about it, the way that car salesman makes money is on the used side of the house. Are we on the same page there?
I mean, you can go used, finance, service, parts. I mean, every dealership's a little bit different on where they're making their money. Some people argue like at bigger lots, say used car doesn't make as much. But I mean, general rule of thumb is used makes more than new. Yes.
All right, but here's the problem, right? You were talking about it yesterday. The admin fees and the hike in rate and like how that's horrible and no one should do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's literally the only way to make money on the front end anymore is hiking rate and some kind of admin fee. And I'll tell you what, it used to, probably 4 or 5 years ago, you could have a trade-in, right? Let's say the trade-in's worth 15. We're going to offer them 13. We're going to hold $2,000 on that. We're going to put probably $2,000 in the car, getting it all shined up, brakes, tires, whatever it needs, roll it out to the lot. We're going to mark it up $2,500. There's a profit margin, right? We got a little room to play, a little room to get beat up, and we're still going to turn a profit, right? Well, that's not the way it works anymore, Tommy, because everybody comes in with a CarMax or a Carvana quote, and they are $300 on the backside of retail. And what do we do with it? We can't even take it through the shop because we'll be over our profit margin. The profit margin will be negative by the time we get it to the lot. How do you combat that? And what is Manheim doing about it?
So running a dealership and owning again, I'm not talking about a salesperson, I'm talking about his owner. If it's so horrible and horrendous for an owner to own a dealership, they make no money, they don't get anything, and everybody hates them, why did they do it?
Well, I think at one time, Tommy, this used to be a money printing machine. I think we can both agree on that, right?
Yep, and I bet he could sell that dealership for millions upon millions of dollars if he wants to today.
Right, but here's the thing that you may not know, Tommy. Like I said, I work for a mom and pop shop, right? So not only do we get heckled by big corporate stores willing to take a net deal or even a loss, right? But on top of that, Tommy, we have to sit there. We have to combat Ford. Ford's holding, our allocation dropped 50%, even though we're 125% of stair step. We hit our sales goal, our regional goals, our nation goals. I mean, and we still get hammered by Ford. So maybe it's a corporate version.
Thank you. He just said it. It is a corporate problem. Why haven't they gone to corporate? That's what I mean. He's literally proving my point about how it's like they always want to make us, the consumers, suffer. It's like, nah, why aren't you guys fighting yourselves? God, I ain't gonna hold you. He's kind of talking long. He need to hurry up. Oh my God. All right, let's continue.
Versus family-owned dealership problem. And if that's true, then maybe the American dream is dead, Tommy.
I mean, the American dream isn't dead. I mean, all of the things that you've said, if you just look at me, I've proven wrong. Everybody in this room knows how much profit I make per car deal. They're all okay with it. I don't hide it. I don't lie. Like, everybody knows I charge $1,000. It takes a few hours of, like, realistically, we're down to about 550 is what our net profit is per deal. Everybody sees that. Everybody's okay with that. People say that I could charge $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. They'd be happy to it. The reason being is really simple. The reason what you are doing, and this is what a lot of you're a salesperson, right? But as a business owner, I learned this. I didn't understand this in the car industry, and now I'm here. Is what you look at the car industry is very narrow-minded. Is I have a product, I need to sell that product for X amount, otherwise I'm not making profit, and consumer is bad and evil for trying to make me lose money. In reality, consumers never, and you yourself do not care when you go into any business, anything, if they're making a profit. And if you are, you're probably lying to yourself. You go to a restaurant, you sit down and you look at a steak, you're not like, I wonder if they're making a profit. Are they making enough money on this steak? We should pay them. Like, people don't think that way. That's not how consumers think. Instead, they say, is that steak a fair deal? Yeah, it's a fair deal. I'll buy that steak. That's good. Nobody thinks this other way. So when it comes down to the dealership, what you have to do is, instead of thinking that way, is consumers have problems. They don't like car buying. They don't like it at all. So how do I solve problems to make it easier, faster, more transparent for car buying? And consumers will happily pay that. Consumers will happily pay you. And there's going to be some consumers that still are going to be, oh, damn, you know what? I don't want to do it. I want to grind and grind. They're not your customers, dude. That's okay. Let somebody else have that customer that wants to get 20% off the car, and take the people that do value, hey, I'm going to get you out in 10 minutes. You can buy this car on 10 clicks on your phone. Make it super easy. I'm going to spend 5 hours with you. You pay a premium to deal with me, but guess what? You're going to get the best experience, and that's what you own. That's what you sell, and you can make more profit. Don't try to compete with the big dogs. Own your own lane.
Anybody that's new to the live, hey, my name is George. I am a loan underwriter. Pretty much I make decision on loans, whether that's for an auto, personal, credit cards, lines of credits, boats, RVs, etc. I do it almost all. So if you're looking for your next loan, you need to contact me by putting help in the comments below, and I'll be able to help you. So essentially, if you're looking for a loan, I can go ahead and give you not just the probability of you getting approved for a loan, but I can also tell you where you stand, which is something that not a lot of people get told. Only because you get declined, it's like, okay, well, people don't always understand why they get declined. I'm able to explain that. You have somebody that's in the inside. Let's go. So, yeah, so if you need that, hit me. If you have a credit repair company, I have a platform where you can do the same thing. So, let's go lock in with me if you're new. If you have questions about how to fix your credit or how to get approved for a loan, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm always answering questions. Don't be shy. And if you think somebody else can benefit from this, share it. Honestly, share it. Subscribe it so you can continue sharing it. Let's go.
So, Tommy, what's really the difference between you and us then?
I mean, truthfully here, I haven't talked about like how much money I'm making, and like I need to make a profit. So everybody needs to pay me X amount of money. I solve consumers' problems. They pay me.
But they literally pay you $1,000, Tommy, to negotiate a deal that we'll give them.
Correct.
I mean, it really, Tommy. I mean, I don't want to beat you up here.
Vision, I'm going to correct you because yesterday I did a deal on a crazy deal that you said there was no way it's possible to get that deal. So the deal that you think is good, I don't agree is good. And that was $4,000 in difference that you said the deal was impossible. I remember that conversation. You said that's impossible. My client's driving that car right now.
Cooked his ass.
I have it I literally have a printed out invoice to tell you, to show you exactly why I said that, right? The only thing that makes sense is that they have a regional discount in that area. I don't remember what the area was, but that is literally the only way that
he lost $4,000 to do it. That's what he did. He lost $4,000. He's the number 11 Ford store trying to be in the top 10. That's why it's a different game. But again, that my clients are going out to try to get the best deal. So the mom and pop doesn't make as much sense. They don't deal with the car salesman, so they don't see the benefit. They deal with us. So because of that, this is what this is all about. We're going to get the best deal for our client, where that is. And yeah, the dealership was, but this is exactly what I'm saying. Your situation, your dealership can't always guarantee. I could pay you $1,000 and say, hey, Mission Fishing, give me the best deal possible. And your best deal possible might not even be the best deal in the market. It might be $4,000 off compared to what is, because you haven't gone and done the research. And that is why people pay us, because I have no bias for you to shop here, 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 here. I'm going to do the research, give you all the information, and say you pick.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you from a small town dealer, bro, not a major corporate store. And sorry, I'm under the weather. I'm a little congested.
You're good.
But from a small town, Ford store, it is impossible for us to be able to compete. I mean, you're talking about taking a $4,000 loser. Was it a 25 or a 26?
It was 26, but here's the thing, is what I'm saying before. Stop competing. Like this is the thing that I understand. Like right now, my client base, I target people.
Oh my God, he's about to break it down. See, it's like, this is where I say it goes from capitalism to greed, because it's like they want everybody. And I'm just like, relax, let other people have some. It's good. You're fine. You're not going to lose this money overnight. It'll maybe take you 20 plus years before you spend all this money. Like people aren't dumb. Like people that are at that level, it's like, oh, Jesus. It's like, yo, are you this desperate? That's crazy work. Ugh. Yeah. And Tommy's about to break it down right now.
People who value their time more than they do their money. The amount of people that call me say, Tommy, I don't really care about the time part. If you pay me $1,000, I have a deal for $4,000 off. If you can save me $6,500, I'll be happy. I decline that client every day because they care more about money. They're not my client. You will make more money if you stop trying to chase the person that is going for that deal, but instead say, hey, guess what? When you deal with my dealership, we are by far the best experts when actually helping you out. We don't charge on the fees. We don't do this. And I know my product better than anybody else, and I can prove it. I'm going to give you 5 hours sitting down to show you this car and give you that experience. Whatever that is, make it a difference and make it something that the consumer actually wants. Talk to your consumers that are actually paying money and say, why would you pay money? And for the people who aren't, ask them the question. Give them a fair deal that makes sense. Don't charge a $5,000 fee for that. But by all means, give a deal that makes sense and compete with that market. You'll make a lot of money by charging. So many people want a million different customers. That's not the answer. The answer is find people that will happily pay your prices because they see the value in what you do.
Yeah, but Tommy, that's what we already do, brother. We don't have addendums. We don't have we don't hike rates. We don't do the scammy. Excuse me, I'm sorry, bro.
You're good.
We don't do the scammy, nonsense in the back end. We are literally the most transparent dealer with easygoing people. There's not a single person in this dealership that does high pressure closes. And I sold timeshare for a little while, so I get the high pressure closes. The reason I left timeshare was because of high pressure closes. But I promise you, when we tell you that you become part of the Jones family, that's not just a motto. I mean, we take care of our people. We go above and beyond. In that video that I kind of, ranted on you a little bit, I literally had a customer that I sold a CRV. We're not a Honda dealer, right? Had a CRV. 3 months later, the injectors went bad. We replaced those injectors for free out of our pockets, right? I work for one of the best dealerships on the East Coast, and we combat problems left and right, dude, over pricing. And it's but I can't say we have $10,000 off a Bronco because I don't have a $5,000 addendum on attached to it. Right? I'm not putting window tint on there and charging you $995. I'm not putting edge guard on there and charging you $695 and mud flaps and truck beds and everything else. I am straightforward. I promise you, when you leave this lot, I'm going to give you the best breakdown of how this vehicle operates and what each and every button and each and every feature does. And look, I'm in a retirement community. These people come back to me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times because they forget or they got a new phone and they can't get it paired up. I mean, Tommy, I'm telling you, bro, like, we are putting in the work and we're watching the sales decline. Why?
Well, I'll tell you one of the
My bad. All right, he's the minority. Like, he's talking from like a minority standpoint. Like, you're not the majority of your problem. You're just talking about yourself, your dealership. You're not talking about the masses. See, so it's that whole mentality of me instead of collaborating. Jesus, oh, it's not that hard. Take less money. It's fine. You had such a long life to live. Like, you'll make money. Like, God damn, people. It's crazy. That's why, like, yo, I think I have a number. If I would have hit $25 million, that's all I would need to retire. I know how to never touch that capital by just investing. It is so easy. God, I don't need a lot of money. I was like, you give me that, or at least something close that I can at least make over 150K a year. That is like my bare minimum, because that's at least, or not 150, 160, because that's $10,000 a month. I can do a lot with $10,000 a month, right? So yeah, I'm just like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So let's see what Tom is gonna say. What do you think so far? What are your guys' thoughts? What's your experience with the dealerships? Like, to me, I still don't like it. Like, I don't know. Let me know though. Let me know. Lock in.
reasons why. And I'll, like, just be true for a second. I appreciate you doing all these things to be transparent. That's one step forward. But just for a moment here, even if it was a moment of weakness, you saw what I was doing. You saw my video. And instead of you stopping and saying, why in the world are people paying this guy? You made a video saying that I was a scam, that I was horrible, and that I work so much harder and this guy spends 30 minutes of work without doing any research on what I do. So we spend on average about 5 hours per deal. This isn't meant to be a competition, but here's the problem is you aren't asking. I'll give you an example. I had a client, we had 4 clients buy Porsche GTSs. I just had a client, I had a 9% offer on a GTS, and I had another dealership that was only willing to give him $1,000 off. He took the deal that was $1,000 off because he liked that dealership more. My clients, the people that I help, I have an offer for 9%. It's right here. You can take it. He's like, I like this dealership more, and they have the perfect build. And this one doesn't. I can't even make this one up. This does not have this has the carbon trim over here. This one has the walnut trim, and I want the walnut trim. It's a $50 option, and he was willing to pay more for that. And that's great. That's his option. I gave him the options. He chose that. That's called a day. That client did not care at all about $10,000 off versus $1,000. He cared about somebody that laid out the options, let him know the best deals he had, and said, okay, cool. Based on all that, this is the one I want. There are plenty of clients out there that do value the idea of a great customer experience and somebody just being honest with them. You need to target those people. When it comes down to it, stop trying to target the people that are trying to save $10,000. That's not your client base. You're never going to compete with them. Find a way. Sales are declining because you're not solving people's problems. That is the answer. That's the truthful answer. You are not solving their problems well enough, and you're not understanding what they actually need. It's not just about being transparent. How easily if I go to your website right now, can I buy a car without ever talking to you? Do I have that option?
No, you can't.
Why not? You guys are already the most transparent dealership possible. Why can't I just go through and buy in 10 clicks? Why isn't your owner invested money that in 10 clicks I can buy a car from your dealership? And I can add and if I want, I can talk to nobody, but for $400, I can add on a package where I'll deliver the car right to your house and I'll go through the entire car from you. No sales pitch, no nothing. Like that's something that a dealership could do to find a way to add profit. Make a 10-click option. If you want a salesperson, it costs $400. And when that person comes back, they saw the $400 and they know, okay, cool. I want an expert to walk through the car. It's gonna be $400, but that guy knows this car better than anything else. And like these are ways the dealership model needs to think of new ways to make money that are transparent, make sense, and the consumer sees value. And if they don't see value, don't charge them.
Well, and listen, we know that we're a little behind the time with DocuSign and all these new things that have came out. And, you know, I get it, right? Like if you want to do a transaction online 100%, you know, it's not possible at this dealership, right?
Why not?
And I get that because we're old-fashioned.
That's why your sales are declining. Like I'm going to cut you off, but that like you're talking about DocuSign right now. We have people that are using AI to like basically do an entire car deal for you. Like this is where we're like your owner will fall behind. You know, I talked to my fiance. We talked about, you know, what her tax firm is. Like if you're not using AI to some part of your business to advance it, and you're talking about like your business needs to advance. Otherwise you are doomed to fail. Like your business needs to go out with the times.
God
yeah, no. I mean, it's not going to change.
Then you'll go out of business, you'll lose your job, and you'll be asking for a new one, and we'll probably be hiring in a few months if you need one. I mean, that's true. Like, I hate to be rude, but like your business will go, like your owner, which is probably fine because he made millions upon millions of dollars and he's happy where he's at. And if his business goes, he'll sell his dealer to AutoNation, be able to buy the lot, and they'll seek and call it a day because small dealerships aren't willing to adapt.
Yeah, I don't know, Tommy. I mean, we definitely deliver an experience that I think is second to none. I don't think anybody can compete. You know, you're talking to somebody that drives Fords. My wife drives a Ford. We've owned almost every variation of Ford you can think of. You know, so like product knowledge and knowing, you know, what we're doing and what we're selling is not the problem. But, you know, we are transparent. You know, we have an $8.99 doc fee. We don't have height.
$8.99, brother. $8.99?
Yeah, $8.99, brother. Yep.
$8.99? You can't say it's transparent. It does not cost you $900 to do a doc fee. What are we doing? Transparent. I'm charging enough.
Dead ass, yo, dead ass. It does not cost no goddamn $10 or $900 to do that. Like, it's literally signing the title or the deed of the car and just pop, put the lien holder's information, and that's it. Oh my God, $900 for that funky ass fee. That's crazy. Oh my God, why are people like this? Do you know why people are like this, gang? People do not understand the difference between capitalism and greed.
$900. But Tommy, you're charging $1,000 for your fee, but I charge $900. Dude, what are we doing?
Well, I just told you, brother. Like, I mean, what do you want us to do with a $693.44 profit margin?
Oh my God. Dude, but this is what I'm saying with consumers, right? Like you can't go on the same breath, call me a scam for charging $1,000 and you charge an $899 doc fee. Like you can't genuinely from the bottom of your heart say that $899.
Gang, over. What do you say to that? Like, how is he gonna make a video about Tommy saying this guy charges $1,000 to get you the best deal, while his dealership is charging people $900 just to be able to sign some simple paperwork? I'm in this industry. I'm a loan underwriter, and I've had multiple different positions within the consumer world. So it's in the loan world. So I understand a lot of these documents that are needed. It is not that hard. It's just a title put on the lien holder information. That's it. It's the companies that want to make a long list of a chain of command. Shorten it up. jackasses. Dang, yo. Cook 'em. Cooked.
Is not getting less value to the consumer than my $1,000 fee for somebody actually working, representing them. Even if it was just me in my house negotiating and calling dealerships, that $1,000 wins them way more than your $899 does.
Well, I don't know what that $1,000 earns. I haven't done a tour, but I do look forward to doing a tour.
I mean, you can just go through all of our reviews or online. You can go find. I mean, or you can just watch. You can just watch. If you watch the videos, you see what we deal with, and you don't have to deal with that. But
I mean, Tommy, they can come negotiate their own deal and walk out and not have to pay you $1,000. I mean, they're literally just wasting $1,000.
So have you ever gone out to eat before?
Yeah.
Was that a waste? Was that a waste of money because you could have cooked your own dinner?
Well, it depends. You pay for convenience, right?
Oh my God, cook!
Thank you. Now you understand delivered.
Boom.
I mean, that's exactly. I don't advertise this as a money saving service. I'm not advertising that I'll save you more money than you can on your own. But you're also talking about a $900 dock fee, and you're saying that somebody could do this on their own. You could also find a dealer who's willing to charge an $85 dock fee. You can find a dealership that doesn't deal with you, and they give me a $10,000 off the car. Like, there's so many options. Clients, when it comes down to it, people are paying for convenience.
Right.
He's done.
I get it, but I mean, I can literally sell a car in 20 minutes if everybody just agrees to pay whatever it is that they want to pay.
Just say hypothetically, 40 minutes at your dealership, they pay, just say yes to everything. I just want you to go hypothetically. Give me your honest answer. They go to your dealership. They just say yes to you no matter what. They want the fastest car buying experience. They want to spend yes to everything. Okay, you want a warranty? Yes. Boom, boom. Yes, 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 yes. It takes them 40 minutes max. Or you can go through delivered, pay $1,000. You spend 15 minutes of your total time doing this. You save, let's just say 10% off the car. You get a great deal. Car might even be delivered right to your house. You spend 15 minutes over there. You spend $1,000. You save 10%. Or you could have just said yes to everything and spend 40 minutes with you. Do you not see why the consumers would be like, oh yeah, I see the benefit. Even though I'm spending $1,000, I'm not putting as much work. And even if I just said yes to everything, I'll spend thousands of dollars more. So why wouldn't I pay $1,000?
Exactly.
There's nothing to say yes to besides buying the car.
But you said it takes 40 minutes.
Well, I mean, I was being generous. It probably takes 20 minutes. It depends on how many people are in the finance office. How many friends stop by.
So now you've just cut your time in half. You've cut your efficiency in half.
I mean, dude, I can sell a car in 8 minutes, right? But I mean, you got to wait for the finance guy to do his job, right? He's got to plug it all in, type it all up, get all the computers ready. I mean, it doesn't take me any time.
And the finance guy is going to be fair and transparent about everything as well.
Yeah, he's not going to push anything, dude.
Okay. But he is going to try to push something, and there's going to be profit built into those things, right?
No, I'm telling you, there's nothing pushed in our finance office.
So he's not going to offer me a warranty at all?
No.
Your finance manager, okay, that's another reason why your dealership is failing. They aren't even offering a warranty. What are we doing?
But I thought it was bad.
You're allowed to offer okay, let me give you my warranty pitch. When I was in finance, I sold a lot of warranties. Hey, when we talk about a warranty, realistically, you're going to buy a product that you really probably are never going to use. People don't buy insurance because they hope to get T-boned, right? They buy insurance for the what if. People that value peace of mind like the idea of a warranty. When it comes down to it, it's much easier to manage a $30 a month on your payment than it is to manage a $3,000 repair out of nowhere. Again, you're probably going to buy this and never use it, but the peace of mind is why people buy it. Like, you can go through a pitch and be honest about that pitch and not, but if you're not offering the product at all, that's insane. You're not even giving people an option.
Careful, Tommy. You're getting a little crazy there talking about offering products, brother.
In what world have I ever said you can't offer a product?
Well, yesterday you were calling them scammers.
No, I said marking up rate is a scam.
That's fair. That's what you said. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, marking up. I believe there is zero benefit at all to the consumer to marking up rate. I believe that the only thing that benefits is somebody who's uneducated that makes the dealership more money. There's no benefit at all to the consumer if you have a 6-point rate and you have an 8-point rate. The only thing you're hoping for is the consumer doesn't know better.
All right. Well, Tommy, let's hit on that for a second, right? Because there is finance kickbacks from doing deals, right, through banks and stuff.
Correct, and I want to make sure. One second, just so you guys know. Give me 1 second, so everybody knows. If you guys want to debate and have this conversation as well, you guys can Instagram me. You have to not like me. You have to disagree with me. I don't want just people that like me. Go to my Instagram, DM me. You have to prove you work at the dealership, and I'll put you on. We're gonna have a conversation. We'll keep talking until I have another caller on, or until he's done. Until Mission Fish.
God, I wanted to go on the stream so bad, but he said people that don't like him. I was mad because there were some people that went on. Next time, it's better to ask for forgiveness. I'm just gonna fucking go on it next time. Damn, could have met him. All right, let's continue. Ugh. Hate knowing those realities.
Mission fishing is done, and then Amy, if you can let me know. Please let me know when you have somebody else. But you're good. Sorry, I just want to make sure people know we have a pretty big crowd here, people listening to you. So,
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Sorry, let's talk about. I cut you off. We were talking about rate.
No, you're good. You're good. How do you feel about? Okay, so like finance managers make money in the finance office through financing, right? Through kickbacks from banks, right? What about the subprime people that we may have to spend $500-$600 to get them done?
Yes, because.
Disclose it?
Disclose what? That we're paying to get the deal done?
Correct. It's not really hard. Let's just subprime, right? I dealt with subprime. There are certain times where you get a deal done that they can't on their own. So you simply say is this, hey, to get this deal done, I have to mark up the rate 2 points. It cost me $500. So your rate was 11.99. It's going to cost me 13.99. Now, I want to be honest about that. You have the option to go find your own financing. If you believe you can go your own financing, this is the offer I have for you. The dealership makes this. This is the interest you'll pay. You can refinance in 3 months if you like. It costs us $500. Now, instead, you can pay us $1,500 extra cash down and avoid all of this. That's totally fine as well. But these are your options. Again, you don't have to finance with us. The price of the car doesn't change. You can go buy the car and not finance with us at all. But this is the option.
Yo, that is a master class in sales, yo. I can see why he was making so much money. Oh my God. I see you, gang.
I have for you. Does that make sense? Yes or no? And allow the customer to make an option of, you know what? I did call 20 other banks. Everybody declined me. This is the option I have, so I have to take it because you delivered a service. You got somebody approved that couldn't do it on their own. They will happily pay you for that. But why hide it? Why be like, well, I'm not going to tell anybody how much money I made or anything along those lines. Just be honest with people.
Well, I mean, I kind of look at
how hard is it to be honest with people? It's really not that hard. You got to make money. But look, he was able to find his way through that pitch. Congratulations, dealership salesman. You played yourself. Someone's going to have to tell him, and I'm going to be the person to tell him.
At it as, you know, the cost of doing business, right? Like if it costs us $600 to get a deal done, then it is what it is. But
here's the problem. Here's the problem: is you can't go and say that you have that there's caveat emptor, and then also say that you're helping client. Because I imagine your finance office, 99.9%, or somebody in your sales office says, "Hey, we have the best finance office in the world. They have a plethora of lenders they work for. They're going to shop and get you the best rate." Do you guys say something along those lines?
Yeah, we do, and
I forgot to mention also. So he was talking about how the interest rate goes up 2%. So yes, that does happen. There's some that does 3. Wells Fargo is known for this. So they can mark it up to 3%. So making sure to always go through a credit union, they're always gonna have a higher likely chance of giving you a loan, as opposed to a bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, U.S. Bank. Like, those people are more bougie once you already have at least in the 700 credit score range. So yes. So that happens. But this is the thing. The reason why the dealership gets charged the $500-$600 is because they're bringing us a risky person. Because when we're looking at those people, subprime means risky people, giving money to risky people. That's pretty much what subprime is. It's a type of loan company that will give money to people that have not paid other people. It's a risk. So yeah, we're gonna charge the dealership a $500 fee. It's not like you're bringing me like an 800 credit score, someone that has a 700 credit score. That's another story, right? So it's like I'll dance circles on him about this, and it's like they don't disclose this, and it's like they run, and it's like you when we're looking at their credit, like we'll see all their inquiries. We're like, okay, well, they're for real about shopping for a car. There's so many inquiries from dealerships when they apply because they send it everywhere, and this is stuff that, again, I'm in the industry. It's how I do it. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. I'm a loan underwriter. Pretty much, I make decisions on loans, whether it's an auto, personal loan, motorcycle, house, home equity line of credit, credit cards, etc. I'm your guy. Been doing it for 10 plus years. So I'm in the right position to help you with my amazing service, which if you're looking for a loan, I can definitely be of an assistance by helping you go through my course of system to help you get there. So essentially, I'm able to give you the probability of you being approved. So one, you won't risk having a lot of inquiries on your credit report, which we know that lowers your credit score. And two, you'll go ahead and know where you stand, whether it's positive, negative, or I'll break it down so easily like I do in these streams. And then don't forget, go ahead and put your questions if you need help with credit or getting a loan. I don't mind answering questions. Go ahead and do your thing, 21. Do your thing. All right, let's continue on with the video.
I believe that is true.
So here's the problem. When you say that, you are acting as if you have the best interest or you have a fiduciary duty to the client to do that exact thing. So when you're telling somebody to do that, they inherently should trust you because that's how financials work. You can't say I have your best interest at heart, but in reality, I'm going to mark up your rate 2 point and say, hey, it's buyers beware. Hopefully they didn't notice. That gets you away from caveat emptor. And instead, you have to go through and do a fiduciary duty and give the client the option. And you have to give them the same level field. They have to know that this is happening. The problem with finance is that the playing field is not level. You have all the information, the client doesn't. And if you're offering a service like getting somebody approved on something they couldn't get approved on their own, pay for that, have them pay for that service. It's a worthwhile investment. And the person who has been to 7 other dealerships that couldn't get approved will happily pay because we both know that the most happy clients, the most loyal clients are people that you got approved that they couldn't get approved anywhere else.
Facts. I remember way earlier, in my earlier times when I was really young, in my 18s or 19s, I messed up my credit, and then there was a credit union that gave me a shot. And I've been just so loyal to them because they gave me a shot when nobody else would. So you see how important it is to have a couple of lenders. That's why I'll have a couple of lenders in my back pocket that I pay and have a great relationship with, because you just never know when you're in those sticky situations. I've actually approved a couple of people. I think just this week there was a person, they were past due on their loans. But with us, they always pay us perfect. So I gave them the loan, and that's based off the relationship and then the proof that they pay their loans, at least with us, so we're willing to give them money. See, tap in with me. I got the secrets you need. Go ahead and put help in the comments below. I'm almost done getting a banner so you can see. Or maybe I'll just show it right now so you can at least see it. What do you guys think? What do you guys like? Do you think the dealership should be able to make a profit? I don't think so personally. I think the salary route is really a great option, and it's crazy that it's him that's proving this. So yeah. Alright, here it is. Let me show you. Right now I only have my email to go ahead and show you. I'm working on making a little background here. This is my email. Just email me. I will need a copy of your credit report, but again, don't feel very pressured. We can have a conversation. We can get to know me, and then yeah, we can go ahead and see and let you know where you at least stand. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the video. Right, George, the credit expert at Gmail.
Right, but we don't hike. We don't rate. You know, we don't hike the rate. So like,
you just said you did. You just said on subprime. You just said you did on subprime.
No. I'm saying it costs us $500-$600 just to get them approved sometimes. Like it literally, like, it will charge us $500-$600 to get them approved, like lenders' fees.
Yeah, I understand you're talking about lender's fee, but the deal has to make sense for you as a business, or you wouldn't take it, right? Like that's the thing you have to understand is that this deal would have to make sense. You're making the money somewhere else, right? If I cook a burger and I lose money by buying the ketchup, but I make money by buying the burger, as a company, I'm still making money. You're looking at one small piece of the business and saying, I'm losing money here, so that's unfair. But like, if you're losing $500 to sell to the lender, but you're making $2,500 to sell the car, the deal makes sense, right? The deal, that all, the math makes sense. You can't look at one part of your business and say, well, I'm losing money here, but I'm making a lot of money over here. And if you don't want to sell the car, don't sell the car. This is not a hostage situation. You're a business.
What I'm saying, and you know, I'm combating, you know, saying that rate, that taking a rate and hiking it is, you know, horrible.
I think it's horrible without disclosure. And again, I'm all for if you want to disclose it. If you want to say, hey, just so you know exactly what I said, show them the sheet of paper, let them know what they disclosed. I'm all for having that conversation. I think that's a fair compromise. But the problem is almost every dealership will say no, because what will be the answer? The consumer wouldn't pay it. But if the consumer wouldn't pay it, it means they didn't see value in what you did. So all the work that you think you're putting in, the consumer doesn't see any of that work. So you either have to educate the consumer and show them the work you did, or you're not actually offering a value.
Yeah, that would depend on the customer, whether it's convenient to them or not. But our clientele would walk.
Yeah. They didn't see value. If they would walk, then they don't see value in what you've done. And all of the things that you're saying and how good you are at your job and how great you are, you might not be as great as what you think. Like, that's just reality. Like, all of the work that you think you're putting in reality, the consumer doesn't see it, which means in your head, you're doing all of this work and the consumer doesn't see it. So you either have to do a better job in showing the consumer the value you're adding, if you are actually adding value. Like, for example, here at Delivered, we have 5 people that touch every single deal. You'll only talk to 2 people. I talk about that. If you watch my streams, you see I say that all the time because I want to make sure that people understand you have 3 people negotiating your deal in the background that you don't ever see. I want people to see the value they're getting for Delivered. So when you talk to one person and 3 days later you got a deal, you're like, where'd all the work go? We have a CRM that shows you every single deal, every single part of that deal that's being done. Every dealer we call, every dealer that's given us numbers, who we're talking to, a SWOT analysis. We have an entire CRM that a client gets to see to get real action, right? We don't have to do this, but we want the client to see the value they're getting for the $1,000. That's something that we built on our own. Once it's built, it's just our CRM, but the client is seeing the work that is being done and being like, wow, that is worth $1,000. That guy, they called 22 dealerships on this deal. I never would have called 22 dealerships. Like, that's where this comes. You either have to show the value by being more transparent about what you're doing, or you have to go through and add more value.
Yeah. I'm tracking what you're saying. And I promise you that my customers love me. It's not always easy to, you know, get someone to bring the guard down to be able to show them the value that I'm trying to show them. There is a complex out there where, you know, I'm a big guy. So I got 2 things working against me, right? One, I'm 6'8", 300 pounds. And the second thing is I'm a sales guy, right? So I got 2 barriers I got to break through prior to, you know, even trying to establish any kind of rapport. So, I mean, you know, when I talk about certain instances, these are people that have not bought from me. I assure you that my customers come back every time they want to buy a vehicle, even if we don't have something that works for them. They still come by and see if I can make something happen for them.
Yeah, but
so, my customer.
Sorry, it's not an excuse though. Like I'm a 5'7" individual that people think I'm wearing lipstick because my lips are too red, and I'm having people trust me on the internet that have never met me, never saw me, and the internet is full of scams and evil people. That they should pay me $1,000 up front to work with me because I'm going to take care of them. That is the barrier that I have to go through. You just have to get a barrier to get you in the door. So like every business has a barrier. This idea that like all of a sudden that you have in this special situation because you're 6'7" and 300 pounds, like no, like this, every business has a barrier that they have to go through and have to go through. And in reality, like that's it. Like I have to build the barrier that people need to trust me that I'm some random dude on the internet that all of a sudden that I can go through and get you a deal and I'm not a scam, right? That is like everybody has a barrier of entry.
Right. Right, but do you sell everybody that you talk to?
No, I decline 50% of the business that tries to hire us.
Oh.
Because not all business is good business, and you talk to any successful business owner, they'll tell you that. Not all business is good business. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Okay. I got the next person that I'm going to jump on, but it was good.
What a masterclass on an ass whooping. Let's talk about the $50,000 markup. I know you saw it in your thumbnail. You thought I forgot about it? I'm about to show you. He brought it up as a debate, and I'm going to show you here right now. So give me a moment. Let me get it for y'all. Go, gotta stay hydrated in these streets. Come on. Whoa, let me know. How's the stream in the chat? Let me know, gang. Let me know. Okay. That was a really good video. Wow. Like I've never seen somebody just dominate a debate that well. Crazy. No, that's not what it was. Dang, I'm gonna have to go through my history. Dang, I didn't think this was gonna take me forever. Dang. Oh, get out my way. Get out my way. Let's see, open history page. That's what I want to see. We can get out of chat. Only chat happy. Was it this one? No. Damn it. I think it was on my video though, on my page. Let me take a look. Cause oh yeah, I did a video to it. I think I showed it. At least I think. Right, let's see my short. Boom, let's see. Here's another side of a video that I reacted to.
All right, let's look at the Type R market in LA. That's a really good example. 42 of those on the ground. Multiple dealerships have 3 of them. Every dealership is charging $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 a markup. Every dealership in LA has agreed not to go below that number. That is the definition of colluding.
This is why the dealership prices are rigged. In the video, Tommy points it out. And then look at this right here. This is a dealership during 2021. They first had a $25,000 markup on a Honda Civic, and then towards December of 2021, then it was at 50,000, as you can go ahead and see on YouTube at Credit Recovery Expert, no spaces. I'm gonna go live and actually react to Tommy's video.
Dang,
my own experience. I even had a dealership try to get a credit application to do business with me. Here's the review that I left so you can have a little context, but also looking at it as a consumer loan underwriter. I work with dealerships whenever they submit finance applications, so I understand this, and I see them just overprice the vehicle so much. Also, on top of that,
there you have it. This is how the dealerships be rigging. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to take a better pay. They don't want people to solve their problems. They don't want to solve their own problems. And this is the results. And I'm glad Tommy decided to do that. So, again, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Subscribe. We're going to do some more. We're going to do a video here coming up soon, so you want to stay tuned. And again, if you need help with getting a loan, go ahead and contact me at George, Jorge, the credit expert at gmail.com, and we can go ahead and have a nice little chat. Aiden, what was your favorite part? Were you on the side with the dealership or with me or Tommy? Let us know.